Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Habs tonight. I'm assuming we're going to have some excited Habs fans in the chat tonight, just because finally, after 10 days, I think Montreal comes out flying for a 4-0 win over the Edmonton Oilers, and obviously I'm joined here with my girl Stefi. Just kind of talk about the Habs game. I mean, there's so much to talk about. What are your thoughts about the game?
I mean, you couldn't really ask for more. I was really nervous coming into it. They hadn't skated together. They hadn't really skated at all in a week. So I was nervous they'd be a bit rusty, but with Edmonton coming off an OT game last night, for sure they'd be a bit tired. But yeah, really not much to complain about as a Habs fan. And Price's first shutout of the season, which is finally amazing. Yeah, I liked what I saw.
I had the final tweet like ready to send, like a minute left. It's like Habs win 4-0, whatever. Like Price has the first shutout of the season, and I was like, if they let in another goal with like a minute or two left, my phone was going to go across the living room. But luckily, they held on for Carey Price finally. It was just a great game. Like it starts off with Kotkaniemi getting that goal. I think it was 18 seconds in, and you just could just see you're like, okay, it's a great start. This is going to be awesome.
And even right after that goal, they were right on top of them again, coming out into the power play too. Weber was hitting posts. They were all around the net. Koskinen was giving up huge rebounds, and they had the chances there. I'm surprised it wasn't 6-0 in the first, honestly.
Oh, it easily could have been, because I remember like the first 5-6 minutes, I was like, okay, yes, like we acknowledge that Edmonton played last night. It was their third game in 4 nights, just kind of similar to what the Habs were at West. But I think with that, like, let's say 10-day layoff there, some of the Habs players, they must have had some nagging injuries or something where they just came out, they looked healthy. They looked like they worked some stuff like through video from Ducharme or whatever. But I mean, like the first 5-10 minutes of the game, and I was like, oh my God, it's the team from the start of the season.
Yeah, for sure. I really wasn't expecting that. And I mean, yeah, I guess they just came out, they probably missed playing hockey and they were just so excited to finally get back on the ice. Yeah, on it, they looked amazing. And you could tell even right from the puck drop, McDavid did not seem like he was in a good mood. I mean, starting with that hit on KK.
Yeah, like that's a tough one. Like, I mean, if that's a fourth liner doing that to McDavid, you got to think something happens there. But
for sure,
you could tell like McDavid the whole game just looked frustrated. I'm not sure if he was like just like tired, frustrated, or just like frustrated with the team. I mean, that guy's drugged the Oilers team through hell on his shoulders. So you gotta give him a break sometimes. But one thing I did like about tonight's game was we were chatting about the group was Frolik's game tonight.
Yeah, it was really nice to see him finally get his first game in. He wasn't standing out in a way that he wasn't playing bad. Like he was just doing his job, getting the puck where it needed to be, and he looked really good in my opinion.
I see one comment here from Justin that Tatar and Deneau shadowing McDavid was incredible. That line is starting to look like the line of years prior.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and McDavid after he, I mean, his goal got disallowed, and apparently, not counting that, he had 0 shots tonight, which is really rare for McDavid. I was noticing in the first, I'm like, and I was looking for him, and I'm like, I really haven't noticed McDavid much at all in the first period. Like he was nowhere really doing anything. But yeah, he just seemed discouraged all night.
And you mentioned too, and like I keep referencing our group chat or whatever, but not to harp on the refs here, but I found this was like the first time in a while that like 2 reviews went the Habs' way for once.
It was so rare. Like I can't remember the last time. I mean, not to complain as a Habs fan, like obviously it goes both ways, but it's been so long, I feel like, since the Habs have gotten a coach's challenge in their favor. And I mean, the first call, it was really close. KK probably shouldn't have stick handled that extra move to pull it back. Yeah, that was a bit risky, but it was super close, and I'm glad we got the call and then the power play. But I mean, Edmonton's goal was clearly offside, so I'm glad that was a clear call, because sometimes clear calls aren't called in our favor too, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like they listened to like the Weiss and Prust episode. They're just harping on the refs. But one thing I just see the Frolik comment here from Joe was I didn't expect him to be like lights out, like scoring goals or anything, but like you said, he wasn't noticeable in a bad way, which is, I mean, the guy hasn't played in how long? Like almost a year or something. It's been 30 games now with the Habs. He's just been practicing, and you love the professionalism that Frolik's shown. It's got to be tough. They mentioned on the broadcast that his family's went back to, I'm not sure where. I think they might have said Florida. I might be wrong here. So he's in Montreal by himself, not playing, just practicing every day, not to get in the lineup. And you just, as like a hockey fan, not even Habs fan, as a hockey fan, you just love hearing those kind of stories.
Yeah, it seems tough to find the motivation, but he finally got his call to play, and yeah, he didn't disappoint. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Lehkonen with a big goal tonight from him?
I love that because everybody's been having him on, let's say like rumors or like the trade block.
Yeah.
So seeing him get 2 points quick in the first period there, especially the goal, because you know how unlucky he is. They mentioned it in the pregame show. But another one like Lehkonen, I love when Lehkonen plays well because the guy works so hard, so he deserves to be rewarded. Another one was Paul Byron. He'll get some flack as well from the fan base, but he was another one with a great first period there. That Kotkaniemi, Byron, Lehkonen line looked awesome.
There were so many good plays, yeah, early in the first too. I mean, not to go back to the Dano line, but like tape-to-tape passes, and they were set up right in front of the net. I mean, Koskinen did make some really great saves. They were just all over him. So, yeah, it was all working tonight, it seemed. Both special teams, too. Their power play, like one of the best games yet, I think, for power play.
I found one thing, too, with the Oilers. I know they played Mike Smith last night. They got the win against Toronto. But, like, you got to think Koskinen not having the best year so far, and they just throw him to an absolute fire with Montreal being off 10 days. They're playing their third game in 4 nights. Like, he wasn't really set up to succeed, I should say.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Sorry, I was just looking at the comments. Lecky or Byron, like, so once Toffoli and Armia are healthy and Stahl gets in the lineup, who sits?
I don't know. I'd like to see some of the chat. If you guys could offer some of your inputs here. Eric Stahl and Armia, when they get back, what happens to this lineup? I mean,
personally,
you can't take Perry out.
No, and I don't want to see Lehkonen out. He's been killing it every chance he gets, and I think he deserves to stay in the lineup. But it's so tough. There's no single player who's like, oh, he sits.
And I hate saying it too, because like I like how he plays, but you got to think Jake Evans has got to come out. And my reasoning for this, so nobody crucify me for it, would be Laval Rocket are going through their own injury bug right now. So you might have to put Evans back down in the A, especially with Wheel being out. And that's how you make room for Stahl. And then I'm not sure if you just rotate the Byron, Lehkonen, Armia in and out of the lineup. Who knows? I'm interested to see some of the comments here.
That's not a bad take, especially because if you are going to scratch Evans, it'd be so much better if he could be improving and gaining all that confidence down in Laval too. If he's one of the best players on their team, then I don't see anything wrong with that.
I'm just smiling just because of Nick's comment here. For anybody in the chat, I got a new jersey today. It's the Romanov one. So I said that's the reason why they won is because I got this new jersey. But hey,
he had a good game. Actually, his penalty saved a goal, so that wasn't a bad penalty. That was really good.
One interesting stat they said tonight too was Romanov was leading the team in hits. I think that may be because Sherrod's out now, but hey, I'll take it. I love Romanov. I keep saying his name wrong.
Romanov. Yeah, the Oilers seemed angry today too. They were hitting everything.
But that's one thing I'm worried about is like Cassian or somebody getting really mad. Then you're like, uh-oh. Like I saw Anderson fighting, and
oh yeah,
I love fighting in the game, but like ever since the Sherrod thing, you're like, no, please don't break your hand. Please don't break your hand.
Same thing. Like I love it when it's deserved or someone hits our player, then it's like, yeah, get him back. But in that case, I mean, Anderson did get cut, so I get it. But I was so scared. I'm like, please, just don't get injured.
I know Anderson's quite popular with the lady fans in Montreal, so it's good to see him doing well. I thought if you had to give, let's say, I'm not sure, 3 stars. Who's your number 1 star tonight?
That's a good question. I mean, yeah, Price didn't face that many shots. It's not like he made crazy saves. Obviously, he kept us in there and had a good game. I mean, the Dano Gallagher Tatar line. Tatar had so many chances. I was happy to see him finally get that goal. But on that goal, too, that was all Gallagher working super hard in the corners and a nice pass from Dano. I'd probably give Gallagher 3rd star. maybe Lehkonen or KK too. Everyone was flying tonight. Like, it's so hard.
I agree with that too, and I think I saw it somewheres. I'm not sure if it's in our group chat or on Twitter or anywhere. I think it's Tatar's got 3 goals, 2 assists in his last 4 games, so he's starting to heat up again. I think it's no coincidence that line got brought back together, and
Dano's finally starting to. Dano's really bringing it to that line too, so I think it's finally working.
So happy for Dano to jump back. Yeah, we are streaming on Periscope and Facebook now. Periscope's a new thing we're trying out here, so we're excited about that. If I had to give I'd have to give my first star to. I loved KK's game. Second star, I'm a sucker for those third, fourth line guys that put the effort in every night and often not get rewarded. So I got to go. I liked Byron and Lehkonen's game tonight, I'll be honest with you. I know Price got the shutout. He wasn't tested that much. Obviously, I love Price. I mean, look behind me. I love this thing. I don't know. I gotta go KK. That whole line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suzuki too. Like he came so close. He had so many shots.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like, Habs fans tend to complain a lot, and there's always something to complain about. But tonight, I seriously couldn't find anything to complain about.
Yeah, like there's one point where Suzuki got the puck on the half wall on that power play. I was like, oh, he's going to do that top corner shot again. I was excited.
When that happened, though, 3 Oilers players crashed on him. I noticed they weren't letting him take that shot.
Yeah, they're definitely paying attention to the video. I want to get into some more of the chats here. No, I'm not the Tatar guy, unfortunately. Although I do love. But the first time I saw that, I died laughing. Let's see some other here. We got Price was a 4th star. I agree. That's fair.
As a 4th star? Oh, okay, yeah.
Then we got Price going to kickstart the season. I don't hate that take. I thought he was picking up right before the season got shut down for them for a bit, but
good take, Jacob.
Oh, Dan wants to hear about the McDavid hit on KK. I think it looked worse, honestly. I'm not saying a player should ever do that. I want to get your opinions because mine is I thought it looked worse than what it was. Definitely a penalty. But I think KK jumped right back up and you could see him laugh on the bench afterwards. So I think it caught more shoulder, but it's still a play that needs to get out of the game. These headshots can't be happening. Yeah,
I was going to say KK's been hit a lot harder like that. But yeah, his head whipped back. But like you said, he wasn't injured. But it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but personally, I don't find McDavid tends to do that often. Like, he's not a dirty player like that. So it was a bit of an odd hit and kind of nowhere near the play. So, but yeah, I don't like to see those hits in the game. And I mean, if it was someone else, would they get a game suspended? Maybe, probably, but
yeah, and I agree with Jawbone 71's comment. It isn't a distant play 100%, and I do agree that it looked like it hit the shoulder more than it hit the head. But give him a penalty and just. I don't know if it's worth a game because KK stayed in the game, but it's definitely a play that does not belong in the game if you're trying to protect players.
For sure. Yeah.
We got a bunch more comments coming in here. Tired hockey by McDavid. Yeah, we have to agree with that one.
He just looked discouraged. I felt bad almost. I love watching McDavid play. I love watching him fly around the ice. And like I said, in the first period, he was unnoticeable.
Yeah, and one other comment here was, I think it was this. Yeah, here. KK mentioned this in after practice yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
This is exciting for Habs fans. If he's excited to see Stahl and pick his brain and learn some more things, that's gonna be paying dividends for the Habs in the future.
For sure, KK's he's improving every game. It seems he seems to want to keep learning and. Yeah, Stahl is going to be a huge help for that.
We have and Nick piped in thoughts on Draisaitl's play tonight. I have him in fantasy, so it's like a double-edged sword for me. If he lights it up against Montreal, I'm like, okay, my fantasy team's doing well. I know nobody cares about fantasy, so I'll stop talking about it. But I almost found him somewhat invisible tonight. I don't know if he's just completely gassed,
or was it just the Habs shutting them down so well?
Yes, You think him and McDavid will play 25, 30 minutes a night, it seems. So these 3 games in 4 nights, I'm curious to see how it bodes for them going down the stretch, because Montreal plays a scary amount of games in the next 45 days or whatever. So that's when you need the depth to step up, in my opinion.
Yeah, who knows if we'll be calling down to Laval too, Paling, Caulfield.
Yeah. That's one bright spot with the Habs. I'm kind of not ignorant, but I'm not sure what the other teams have for depth if it comes down to guys just being absolutely gassed for playoffs. But hey, I thought Burge did a good job. That's one praise I had for him, was getting the depth this year.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. So next we're Ottawa twice.
Yes, I believe so.
But yeah, we just gotta not empty the tank in these last 25-ish games, or like it's gonna be brutal. But if we can just keep getting the points and not getting injured, then that's the most ideal for playoffs. Thanks
for the nice comment, Michael. One thing that with playing the Senators next, they play everybody like they're the pesky Sens, like they've been known about it all year. They play the Leafs tight. They always play the Habs tight. So I'm curious how those will go. Also tomorrow night, we have Chris Pronger, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be awesome. We sent out a tweet asking for people to comment on what players he's played with that they want to hear about. Because if you check the teams he's played for in the NHL and the Olympic teams, like the rosters, they're incredible. He's played with like 98% of all the Hall of Famers in that era. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, he'll be talking about he's famous with the media too, so that'll be definitely fun to hear.
Yes, and like the producers put up, that we will be taking callers tomorrow, so you can tune in, you can chat with Dale, you can chat with Pronger, you can chat with Aaron. It's going to be I think, like, I can't wait for tomorrow night, honestly. But I think that will be it for the post-game show. It was a great first game back. 4-0 for the Habs. Price with the shutout. I got to ask, Steph, you got any last thoughts here?
Hopefully it's just an example of what's to come. I mean, yeah, there's nothing to complain about or pick apart with their game. If they can do that every night, obviously impossible, but great start. Great start to the
I hope they can keep it. I hope they can keep going, because it looked almost like, I know it's the first game back and it was a tired Edmonton team, but they looked like the team that started the season the first 10 games, in my opinion. They were just flying.
And it's so fun to watch, because it's like no one can beat us, and they're doing amazing things every play.
Yeah. So we got a game, I believe it is Thursday night against the Senators, correct?
Yeah.
And we'll be doing another pregame show. Probably we'll be doing a postgame show as well. We got Wednesday night's the big show. We also had a Autour de la Ligue that came out yesterday. I think I pronounced that right. Forgive me if I got that wrong. There's just so much content on our YouTube channel that you should, like, every day there's something getting released. There's clips from the big episodes with Weiss and the guests and Aaron. There's a French show for all of our French fans. We have the pre and post game shows, and also Crushing Cans, where you can watch me and Derek have a couple beers and just talk hockey. All right,
and follow on Twitter. No,
yes.
I was going to say, make sure to follow on Twitter for those great hot takes around the league. It's an exciting page to follow. So
Instagram page as well. Dale did a Q&A tonight, so tune into that. Habs Night on Instagram. We'd like to boost those numbers up, because Dale's going to be doing some Q&As, some videos and stuff like that. So check us out on all platforms, Habs Night. And thank you, everybody, for all the kind words, tuning in, subscribing, everything like this. The Habs Night fans, I know you guys are Montreal Canadiens fans as well, but it's been so fun building this little community, and I love being a part of it. I'm having a blast.
Me too.
All right. Good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and go Habs go.